What's going on, everyone? LA Sports back with another video. In this video, I'm going to be predicting each NFL division and the standings in each division in both the AFC and the NFC, as of course the NFL season is here. And the Dallas Cowboys are going to Tampa Bay tonight to play the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But like I said in this video, I'm going to be doing a division-by-division breakdown and prediction on the standings. And let's get right into it. Start off with the AFC East. And I think this one is pretty obvious who's going to win the division. I think it's one of the best teams in the NFL. It's the Buffalo Bills. I think they're going to finish first in the division, win the division. Probably win about 13, 14 games. That's where I see them. So I'm going to go with Buffalo to win the division. And then in second place, I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins. And I do think that they're going to make the wild card spot. So, of course, there's 3 wild card spots in each conference, the AFC and the NFC. And I'm going to have the Miami Dolphins taking one of those wild card spots. So I think they're a good team. I think Tua might show some progression in his second year. They have a very good defense. They drafted Jalen Waddle, who I think is a very, very, very good receiver, as well as a very good coach in Brian Flores. So I like the Miami Dolphins team and where they're headed. So I think they're gonna win about 10, 11 games, in my opinion, out of the 17, and finish second with a wild card spot. And then just under them, the New England Patriots. I think that's definitely a close. That's very close on who ultimately was going to win that division. I think 2 very good teams. They're going to go neck and neck. They face off on Sunday. And I do have Miami winning in Foxborough, so that's a good game. Rookie quarterback, I think there's still a couple question marks, but I think the Patriots are going to be a good team. Just missed a wild card spot, 1 game under the Miami Dolphins. And then in last place, I'm going to go with the New York Jets. I think that one's pretty obvious. I think first and last in this division is fairly obvious, but I do think the New York Jets under Robert Saleh, first-year head coach, I think they're going to be competitive. But again, like the New England Patriots, they have a rookie quarterback in Zach Wilson. So, little less trust there, over a team like Miami who has that top-end defense with a second-year quarterback and, a couple of good weapons, decent offensive line. So, first I got the Bills, second I got the Dolphins, third Patriots, and fourth Jets for the AFC East. In the AFC South, I got the Tennessee Titans winning the division. I think they're, them and the Colts are, the only real competition to win this division, I feel like. But ultimately, I think the Titans are a more, well-rounded team. And I think the Colts still have, they have a lot of injuries. And Carson Wentz, what is he? I don't think he's a very good quarterback. I know a lot of people are saying, with an offensive line, he might be better, but I don't think that is going to be that big of a key. So, that big of a difference. So I'm going to go with Tennessee winning the division with the Colts underneath them and the Colts missing the wild card spot. So I do not think the Colts are going to make the playoffs this year, although I think they are a good team. But that could go either way. You could flip a coin there between Tennessee and Indianapolis. And then in third, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be I think he's going to be decent. I don't think he's going to be anything crazy. Of course, his team is nothing crazy. They're the worst team. Or last year, they were the worst team in the league. Them and the Jets were, amongst the worst. But I think the Jaguars are going to be a team that can win 5-6 games under Trevor Lawrence. But we'll see. I just can't see them being a team that's better than Indianapolis or the Titans. I don't think they really even come close. And then in the final spot, fourth place, I'm going to go with the Houston Texans. I think they have a lot of question marks, obviously. They're a pathetic team. Deshaun Watson wants to be traded. He's not starting week 1. And we don't really know, what's going on there with Deshaun Watson. We don't know if he's going to end up playing. If he does, then they may be better than, Jacksonville. But assuming he doesn't play, I think they're going to finish last in this division. And I think it's pretty fair to assume that he doesn't play based off of what we're hearing, from this first week. So first I got the Titans, second Colts, third Jaguars, and final spot I got the Houston Texans. moving on to the AFC North, in which I think this is the best division in football. Um, the NFC West and the AFC North, I think, are the two best divisions. You can make an argument who's better, but ultimately, I think they're the top two divisions. We got the Cleveland Browns, who I think are going to win the division. I think they're a very good team, well-rounded team. They're taking that step up. Baker Mayfield, he proved last year he is one of the top-end quarterbacks in the NFL. Nick Chubb is a terrific running back. They got some good receivers. Hopefully Odell Beckham Jr., can get back on the field healthy. Their defense, is one of the best in the league. Myles Garrett, leading it. Good secondary. So I like the Cleveland Browns to win this division, but very narrowly over the Baltimore Ravens, who I think will get that will get that wild card spot and finish second in the division. I like Lamar Jackson, but I do have some question marks with him. I don't think he is, as good as people make it seem. I think, if you want to be a good quarterback in the league, you got to throw the ball a little bit better than Lamar Jackson and throw it a little bit more, ultimately. So I got the Ravens in second in the AFC North, but I do think that they take the wild card spot. And then in third, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers missing out in the playoffs. I think there's just too many question marks with Ben Roethlisberger. Although I do really like their defense. I think it's a top 5 defense, if they could stay healthy. TJ Watt's terrific. They got a good secondary, but there's just question marks on the offense. Like I said, the offensive line, hasn't been good. They're relying on a rookie running back who I think is going to be good, but I just don't think you can put that much weight down on a rookie running back, Najee Harris. But I think, their coach Tomlin will keep them very competitive and just be just under the Ravens in third and missing the playoffs. And then in last spot, I got the Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're a better team than people. A better team than people think. I just think there's too many questions on the offensive line. I think they should have drafted Penei Sewell instead of Jamar Chase, but that's the decision they made. So I'm going to put Cincinnati in last spot. So it's Cleveland, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Bengals in the AFC North. In the last division in the AFC West, I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs winning the division. I think this is the most obvious thing in the league. I think Patrick Mahomes is far and away the best quarterback in the league, so I'm going to go with them. I don't feel like I got to get too in-depth on that. And then in second, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Chargers and making the wild card. I think they're a very good team. I really like Justin Herbert. So I think that they're going to take a big step up this year. I think they're going to win 10 or 11 games, in a 17-game schedule. And I think that they're going to make the wild card spot in second in the AFC West. And then in third, I got the Broncos, who their defense is very good. They're just a question mark at quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater, you can't really rely on that guy too much to push you into the playoffs. They have a very good receiver core, very good defense, but like I said, question marks with the quarterback spot. I think they'll be a competitive team. I think they'll be a good team, an average team, and finish third and miss the playoffs in the AFC West. And then in the final spot, I got the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm not high on them at all. Some people, are a lot more high on them than I am, but I just don't think that they're going to be as good as people make them seem. I think they're going to win, maybe 6 games. So that's where I view the Raiders. But who knows? Maybe they prove me wrong and win, 9 games. I just can't see it. So I got the Chiefs winning the division with the Chargers in the wild card spot, and then the Broncos and the Raiders in the AFC West. All right, guys, moving on to the NFC. Starting off with the NFC East. A lot of people view it as the worst division in football, but I do think it's going to be a little bit better than people make it seem. But winning the division, I'm going to have my New York Giants. A lot of people might see it as a biased decision, but I just think looking at the schedules, I think the New York Giants have a easier schedule than they did last season, in which they won 6 games. I think they're a much better team. You put this team into last season, they probably win 8 games. Now they have an extra game on the schedule, so I can view the Giants winning around 10, 9 to 11 games, so, in that range there, and I think that'll be enough to win this division. And then in second place, I got the Washington football team. Their defense is no joke. I think every football fan knows how good that defense is. That front four is just terrific, led by the second-year player, guy coming into his second year, Chase Young. I think he's an absolute monster, and I'm scared of him as a New York Giant fan, especially with the offensive line that we have. But I do think the Giants will win the division, with Washington coming in second, missing the wild card. Dallas in third. I think they have a very good offense, one of the best, of football, but, massive question mark with that defense. They didn't really, improve it this offseason. You could say they made a couple moves. Micah Parsons is a very, very good young prospect. I think he's going to be a terrific player in this league, but he's not going to be able to turn the whole defense around. Their secondary, is pathetic. And they didn't really make any upgrades to it. So I'm going to go with Dallas in third. And their schedule is it's pretty tough. So Dallas in third, and then the Eagles in fourth. I think the Eagles in fourth is pretty obvious. I think everyone kind of views it going that way. I think they're going to be in the top 6 or 7 worst teams in football. Jalen Hurts to me is not a good starting quarterback in the league. So I just view the Eagles in that spot, winning 4 to 6 games probably. So I got the Giants, the Washington football team, the Dallas Cowboys, and then the Philadelphia Eagles. Moving on to the NFC South, I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning the division, as defending Super Bowl champions. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory why you pick the defending Super Bowl champs and Tom Brady to win their division. I think the division got worse this offseason, with Drew Brees' retirement and the injuries going down with the Saints, who I do think will finish in second and the wild card spot. I think that the Saints are still a good team. They still have a terrific defense. They still got Alvin Kamara, a good O-line. And if Jameis Winston can just limit the or reduce the turnovers, I think they're going to be still a good football team, and maybe even win around 11, 12 games. So I got the Saints in second to take the wild card spot, just on top of the Carolina Panthers, who, still, again, their quarterback is Sam Darnold. I mean, he was one of the worst quarterbacks in all of football in the past couple of years. So, that's pretty obvious in why you think that they're not going to be too good of a football team. But they do have Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in the NFL. They have a good wide receiver core, so they have some very good players who can turn their team around and cover for their poor quarterback. But ultimately, I think they're going to finish third in that division under the Atlanta Falcons, who I'm not really high on either. I don't think that they're going to be a team. I think people think that they might win a few more games than I do. I think they're going to win them around 5 or 6. People may believe they win 8 games. And maybe they do. I just can't see it. I think the Falcons, I think Matt Ryan is getting older, and I don't think, he's the quarterback he once was. So I got the Bucs winning the division, the Saints taking the wild card spot on top of the Panthers and the Falcons. The next division we got is the NFC North, and I think the division winner here is very obvious. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers. Surrounded by Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, pretty good defense and a good offensive line. Aaron Rodgers had lots of talk, obviously, on him potentially leaving in the offseason. The contract was restructured so that he could choose where he ends up after this season. But I do think that they're going to be a very competitive team and a Super Bowl contender. So I think they're going to win their division on top of the Vikings, who I think are a good team. I really do. I think they're a team that can definitely push for the wild card spot, without a doubt. But I just still some question marks with them. Their quarterback is aging, Kirk Cousins. But they do have a very good 1-2 punch at the wide receiver spot and a very good running back. So the weapons there, there's no shortage of weapons. Their defense is, it's all right. But, could use some work, definitely. But I do like the Vikings team, and I do like their chances to make a, very close push for the NFC wildcard spots. And then I got in the third spot, I got the Bears again, rookie quarterback, most likely going to come in, in a couple of weeks. Justin Fields, who I do think is one of the better quarterbacks in the draft class. A lot of people view him not as highly as I do, but at the end of the day, I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the NFL. I just don't think it's going to be this season. I think Andy Dalton starting off for them is, I think is a mistake. They made some moves, and they look as a team that might want to make a push for the playoffs. And I don't think Andy Dalton is that guy to do that. And then in fourth, I got the Lions. I mean, they're just not a good football team. They're going to be amongst the worst in the league. And I think that, Jared Goff is not going to be able to carry a team. That's why he left the LA Rams. And, Kenny Golladay gone, Marvin Jones gone. So I just view the Lions as one of the worst teams in all of football, finishing fourth in the NFC North. All right, guys, and finally, the last division is the NFC West, in which I think if it's not one of the best, it is the best division in all of football. It's right up there with the Afc North. And I think that the Rams, with the additions and the changes they made in the offseason, are going to be the best team in that division. I think they're going to win the division under Matthew Stafford. That defense is terrific with Aaron Donald, and Jalen Ramsey as the key guys. They have a good wide receiver in Cooper Kupp. So I think they're going to be a very good team this season and win that division. And second, I got the Seattle Seahawks to take the wild card spot. I think Russell Wilson. They have a very good receiver core. 1-2 punch with Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. Chris Carson, I think, is going to have a good comeback season and bounce back and be a good back. And then they have obviously a very good offense, but their offensive line's a question. But I think Russell Wilson's mobile enough to be able to escape and win football games, carry his team on his back like he's done so many times before. So I do think that they take the wild card spot and finish second in the NFC West. And then in third, I got the San Francisco 49ers. But this one is a bit tough for me because we don't know. This very well might be a team that goes from quarterback to quarterback on a weekly basis. They have Trey Lance and they have Jimmy Garoppolo. I think both are capable of playing at the NFL level. I just think the experience might give Jimmy Garoppolo the upper hand. But I do think with that defense, a few good wide receivers, they're going to be a wild card team and definitely a team that could contend in the playoffs. And then in the final spot, I got the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, to think that this team is last in their division is unbelievable. They're a fantastic football team. I still see winning 8-9 games, maybe even more. Maybe they make the wild card spot. Maybe we see 3 wild card teams from this one division. But who knows? Kyler Murray is a terrific quarterback with DeAndre Hopkins. Their defense, though, is just a question mark. But that's all I got in this video, guys. You guys let me know. Sorry it went on so long. You guys let me know what you think about these predictions division by division. Let me know your favorite team and where you think they're going to line up in their division. And as always, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new and enjoy tonight's game. We'll see you guys all in the next video.